Hello everybody, I am Tom and you are watching me play Solasta, Crown of the Magister. So today is the first official episode. Last time we went over the character creator and I went through all the things you can do. This episode, we're going to start the actual game. I'm going to go over the characters I've created. We have Hunter Ross, a human fighter. We have Kolgar Lightshield, a Hill Dwarf Cleric of Life. Sayola Fastmind, who is a High Elf Wizard. And Zoe Tubbs, who is a Island Halfling Rogue. So, I can go into these a bit more in detail here, I believe. I can indeed. So, my human fighter is insane. So what I did with these rolls, by the way, is I had 3 rolls to get something I liked. Whatever the third one was, I had to take. This one is the first roll I had. So, these are all +1, as you might imagine, so 2 17s is kind of ridiculous because of the +1 you get as a human. But we have 18 strength, 17 dex, 18 constitution, 10 intelligence, 11 wisdom, and 15 charisma. So he's pretty damn good. He has sword and shield, main hand, a couple of throwing axes, some light sources with some torches. He has 1 healing potion, and then a bunch of other crap that doesn't really matter. We'll get into that later. He also starts with 10 gold. He is a human, so we get 6 movement, +1 to all the ability scores, and he can speak Common and one of the languages of our choice. I don't think I need to go over a bunch of this. Classes have already been over. Background, he was a lawkeeper, so a former deputy. You have an instinct for spotting trouble and the force of personality to nip it in the bud. After a while, keeping the peace in the Principality of Masgarth, though dealing with petty criminals every day just wasn't enough. You took what you had learned and embarked on a life of travel discovery. So we have profile in perception and proficient in perception and intimidation. I can talk. I'm proficient with all martial weapons. This doesn't actually do anything because I'm already a fighter. And we get 1 additional language. If we actually look at our proficiencies, you can see down here we are proficient with athletics and acrobatics. And then we're also proficient with perception and intimidation. And we've got our saving throws here, Constitution, Strength. Scroll down, we are proficient with Smith tools. Simple weapons, martial weapons, light, medium, heavy, and shield, so we can use everything as far as our weapons and armor. And languages, we talk Common, Dwarvish, and Old Tirmarian, which is an ancient language originated from Tiramar? The lost world of humans. It has been protected and transmitted since the Cataclysm. So, that is our fighter. And next we have our live cleric, Kolgar Lightshield, I think that's what I called him? Yes. All of these names, by the way, were pretty much, I think all of them pretty much were auto-generated by the game. I then went through and I just kind of changed. Like, I think this one was like Kolgar Oakshield or something. I turned it to Lightshield because, you know, cleric. Why not? We have 17 strength, 11 dexterity, 17 constitution, 12 intelligence, 18 wisdom, and 9 charisma, so he's not particularly charismatic. But he is an old, kind guy. You can see down here the personality type. I didn't go through this with the first guy, but that's fine. He's kind, he's altruistic, although he is somewhat authoritarian, because he follows the rules of the church, and he enforces them fairly stringently. But he has a warhammer and a shield. Secondary, he's got a crossbow with some bolts, and he carries around some candles because he comes with his priest kit. You can see here, his background is an acolyte, so he has religious training, which means we're proficient in religion, nature, and insight. Proficient with a herbalism kit, so I can make potions, and I get an additional language. We look through the proficiencies once again, wisdom and charisma for our saving throws, but we are proficient with history, insight, medicine, nature, and religion. Again, not very good with charisma here. Also proficient with a herbalism kit and a scroll kit, so we can make herbs and we can make herbs. We can make potions and we can make scrolls. Simple weapons, battle axe, warhammer, light armor, medium armor, shield, and heavy armor. So we're going to get some heavy on him eventually. And he speaks Common, Dwarvish, and Orcish. As for his spells, he has guidance. For his cantrips, he has guidance. So you can increase an ally's ability check for a limited time. I believe they get advantage on it, right? Nope, they add a d4 to 1 ability check. Sacred Flame, this is just a basic evocation damaging spell. It does 1d8 radiant damage on a save. It also ignites a light source, so you can, like, if there's like a torch or something, you can ignite it with Sacred Flame. And we have Spare the Dying. So if something is dying, I can stop it from dying, and it doesn't take death saves anymore. I can just stabilize it so it won't die. Very useful. As for my prepared spells, this is what I'm going to go with for the most part, is Bless. So you can increase your allies' saving throws. You get a +d4 to attack and a +d4 to saving throws. Cure Wounds. which is to heal a touch heal. So you need to touch them, and you can heal them with 1d8 plus your ability bonus. Detect magic. I can cast this ritually, but essentially I can just detect magic around me. Guiding Bolt, launch a radiant attack. It's a ranged spell attack. Does 4d6 radiant damage. And also, if you hit the enemy, it gives you advantage on the next attack against them. Healing Word, this is a ranged heal. It only does a d4 plus my healing ability, which is my wisdom modifier. But it's a ranged heal, which is very, very good. Inflict Wounds, this is a melee magic attack. Does 3d10 necrotic damage, I believe. I think that's what that is. Yes, it is. Necrotic. So if they get up close and personal, I can hit them with this rather than hitting them with my weapon if I wish. And we also have Shield of Faith, so I can increase an ally's AC by 2 for a limited time. So for 10 minutes, which is 10 rounds of combat, I can increase a ally's AC so they don't get hit as much. Moving on to the next character, we have Saola Fastmind, who is our High Elf Wizard. See here, she has her quarterstaff, her spellcasting focus, which is this orb here. I don't think... Can you hold that? You can, apparently. Although it doesn't have like a... I don't know if there's a purpose to holding it. I don't think I have to. I think I just need it in my possession. She has a bunch of things in her inventory. Got a spell book over here. Plus a couple of spells. Crafting Scroll of Magic Missile. Crafting Potion of Healing. So I've got a couple of crafting things in there. Her notebook. So she is pragmatic and cynical. But she's also quite formal because she's come from the academia, as it were. See here, she comes from she's an academic, she's a bookworm, so she's proficient in Arcana, Nature, and Insight. Runaway Antiquarian. You still have ties with the Antiquarians, and your relationship with them is already good. I get 2 additional languages, and I'm proficient with the Manakalon Rosary. Supposed to be useful in enchanting items, so I can enchant items. My proficiencies, wizard, so wisdom and intelligence. We are also proficient in Arcana, History, Insight, Medicine, Perception, and Nature. We didn't go over the scores here. We've got 8 Strength, 16 Dexterity, 15 Constitution, 18 Intelligence, 15 Wisdom, and 9 Charisma. We didn't get as lucky on this character. We've got 2 minus attributes, but that's fine for a wizard for the most part. She doesn't have to be particularly charismatic and strong, so that doesn't really matter. So we have our enchanting thing here, the Manakalon Rosary for enchanting, and a scroll kit so we can make scrolls. Longsword, shortbow, longbow, dagger, dart, quarterstaff, and light crossbow are the things that we can use. And we speak Common, Dwarvish, Elvish, Terran, and Old Temerian, which is a lot of different languages, which fits pretty well with a wizard in my mind. And because she's a high elf, we get a free cantrip, which I picked light, so I can cast light whenever I wish. And then her wizard spells, she has Chill Touch, Firebolt, and Shadow Dagger. So Chill Touch is a ranged is it attack? Yes, it is a ranged hit. So it does 1d8 necrotic damage and inflicts chilled, so if the opponent is undead, they can't regain hit points. Firebolt is just a firebolt, it's a ranged attack, does fire damage. And then Shadow Dagger is a wisdom saving throw, but if they fail it, they take 1d8 psychic damage, which is a good damage to have, I feel. And then for my first level spells, we have Burning Hands, so it's a big cone of fire out in front of you, it does like 3d6 damage, yep. We have Detect Magic, that can be done as a ritual. We have Identify, once again can be done as a ritual. Mage Armor, so it can give our AC a bit of a boost. Shield, I can protect myself, I can increase my AC by 5 just before I would have taken an attack. And we have Sleep, so in a big area I can put people to sleep based on a certain amount of HP, effectively. So I can put people to sleep as well. So that's my wizard, and then finally we have Zoe Tups, who is our low-life rogue. If we inspect her here, she's got a rapier, and a short bow with some arrows on her range slot. 9 strength, 18 dexterity, 13 constitution, 12 intelligence, 12 wisdom, and 14 charisma. So, moving on here, she talks a lot in slang because she grew up on the streets. She's incredibly greedy, and just a bit cynical, and also a bit egotistical, so she's more likely to be a bit selfish about herself and her friends, and she's also very, very greedy. Moving on to character, as you can see here, she was a lowlife, so she's Cut Purse, which gives her proficiency in sleight of hand, stealth, and deception. And she's proficient with Thieves' Tools, because burglary. Again, this is counterintuitive, because I already had proficiency with Thieves' Tools, because I'm a rogue, but it's fine. RP, you know what I mean. And then we go to the proficiencies. You can see here, intelligence and dexterity for the saving throw. We're proficient in a lot of things. Acrobatics, sleight of hand, insight, perception, stealth, persuasion, and deception. And you can see here with both perception and stealth, we also have our expertise. So we're getting +4 in here rather than +2, which is quite nice. We are proficient with thieves' tools as well as smith tools. And simple weapons, long swords, rapiers, short swords, and light armor. And we speak Common, Elvish, and Halfling. But that is all our characters. Just to go over my main guy, he's very, very violent. He likes solving his problems with violence, and he's also incredibly pragmatic. Other than that, yeah. He solves problems the easy way, which is usually to kill things. So that's what our fighter is like. But that is the team we're going to go with, so let's go new adventure. Sure. Hunter Ross. My cleric. My rogue. And my wizard. So this is the team we're going to go with. Let's start this adventure. 10 minutes into the game, shall we? So Crown of the Magister, this is a level 1 starting. Authentic mode, sure. I'm not going to go Iron Man, that seems insane. Seems like a dumb idea to go Iron Man, considering I have no idea how hard this game is. So let's start, shall we? Adjust brightness. That's fine. I'll have to change all this in post anyway for YouTube, so we'll see.
Before the Cataclysm, there were no gods on Solasta. No humans either. Then, the rift opened. Some say it was a magical accident, or the work of an evil god. No one knows for sure. The Cataclysm destroyed the old High Elf Empire. Manicalan, they called it, and twisted the land beyond recognition.
This is interesting.
Now, only the brave and the foolish go there, in search of ancient treasures. But something is happening deep in those Badlands. Whatever it is, it can't be good.
This year 1024, after the Cataclysm, new states have arisen around the Badlands and crave its treasure. A newly discovered road offers a safer route into the ruined heart of the Empire from the Principality of Masgarth, upsetting the balance of power. The Legacy Council is formed to ensure that this... Thank God it gave me a prompt. The Legacy Council is formed to ensure that this knowledge is shared. It issues a call for agents to explore the Badlands in its name. Adventurers flock to Caercaeflin? That looks Gaelic. It's probably Caercaeflin. The Principality's capital and the home of the Council. 4 strangers meet in the Gatekeep's cask close to the Council chambers. Very classic D&D.
This beer tastes like donkey piss. Not that I'm complaining.
Is this the place for the Legacy Council job? Hope I'm not too late.
Ran into a bit of trouble on the way here.
Sit, relax. Perhaps you'd enjoy a pint of this obnoxious ale.
If you're here for the council job, get in line. But if this Lord Karen doesn't show up soon, I may go looking for him.
Another round, barkeeper. 4 of your finest flagons of donkey piss, please.
Looks like you've been waiting here a while.
Indeed. You mentioned something about some trouble. Would you care to elaborate?
Well, I was making my way here when 3 bandits leapt out of the bushes with crossbows. They dragged me off to some decrepit prison and tossed me in a filthy cell that smelled of rat piss. Don't know what was holding the place up.
Oh, this is interesting. We're playing his... Do we play his story? Escape the bandit's prison. So the tutorial is playing his story. That's really cool. But that dialogue obviously was incredibly campy. But I kind of love that, to be honest. Because, like, it reminds me of, like, a D&D game, right? Like, you and your friends are kind of campy about it. Character selection and basic movement. Select your character by clicking on the character in the 3D view or in the character portrait to select the whole party. Use the select all button at the bottom of the portrait display. You can also drag a rectangle around one or more characters to select them. To move, left-click on the destination. Valid destination, show a round marker when the mouse is over them. Invalid destination, show a forbidden sign. Cool. Camera controls, right-click to drag and rotate the camera. I already figured that out. You can also rotate with Q and E. WASD and the arrow keys to pan the camera. Makes sense. Okay. Click on the journal button to open the quest log. This will give you more information on your current objectives, along with some useful context. Note that the journal contains much more information than the quest log. Okay, that makes sense. The log lists your current objective, which you may complete in order to move on to the quest forward. You may also have other optional objectives. Your log also gives you hints and context to help you understand the subtleties of your quest. Your successes and failures are all recorded here. So if we go journal. Quest log, escape the bandit's prison. Find a way... there must be a way out of this crumbling prison. The bandits left you in a ruined cell. There must be a weak wall or a hole somewhere for other cells. Then we go to my adventure log. This gives me all of the dialogue. Okay. The adventure begins. A group of adventurers gather around the Gravekeep's Cull, waiting for the instructions of the Legacy Council. The party was Hunter, Fighter, Colga, Cleric, Zoe, Rogue, and Sayola, Wizard. Cool. And we have a bestiary with a bunch of unknown shit in it. Factions. Interesting. I won't go over these now. And then tutorials. Tutorials. Cool. To crawl through a hole, click the other side. You can get a better view of the other side by rotating the camera. Move the button and the character will automatically kneel. Crawl. Okay. After moving the camera around to examine your surroundings, you can center on the character and the following. Tab to center. I already figured that out. Broken doors. Highlight interactable objects. Press and hold Alt to highlight various interactable objects. Understood. Torch. I'll put that in my carried items, but I don't really need one. Highlight elements are interactive. The cursor indicates the action that can be performed, opening, pushing, activating, lockpicking, etc. If an action requires a dice roll, the difficulty class will be displayed. Cool. Interesting. Climbing and jumping. To jump or climb, simply click on the destination. Depending on the character's strength and proficiency with athletics, you can jump and climb between 2 and 5 cells. Interesting. You can always jump over 2 cells, drop down 3 cells, and climb up 1 cell. Okay, or climb up easy surfaces like ladders or ropes without any trouble. Above a character with the character with 6 strength below 15 and no proficiency in athletics cannot jump far enough to reach the chest. A fighter with strength 15 to 20 can jump across 3 cells. So can a character with strength 11 to 14 plus proficiency in athletics. In general, the critical path is always open to the characters, however, without superior strength abilities. However, optional loot is sometimes harder to reach. Don't give up though, there may be find another way to get to the chest. So I can easily jump over there because my dwarf is relatively strong. I'll take the potion of healing. Can't jump diagonally, interestingly. Cool, though. I assume I knock this down and make a bridge, right? Indeed. So I should be able to push this thing out, which is how you would get the chest otherwise, I guess, right? Yeah, not that I need to. I've got to turn my... Discord sounds off, which I can do in a second. Cool. Looting and inventory management. Click on a chest and other container to loot it. Everything you carry affects your weight gauge, so be wary of reaching your weight limit as it will slow you down a lot. Equipment and light sources may be placed in the appropriate slots before they can be used. Sure. Some items can stack in the same cell for your inventory. The maximum number of units depends on the item. To split the stack of items, drag and drop the stack into an empty cell while holding in the control key. Cool. Cool, that gave me all of my shit back. I think we're good. I mean, I don't need arrows on me now, do I? No, not really. So we got a bunch of crap. Cool. I guess we then escape, right? Tutorial complete.
That trip with the wall. Glad you're no worse for wear.
This council needs to get organized. They have no right to keep us waiting like this.
Have another ale. It's not like you have anywhere better to be.
I have a tale to tell as well. I too was attacked, but I put an end to my enemies with blood and pain.
So, what are you waiting for? Spit it out, why don't you?
As I said, campy dialogue, but it's very cool that my custom characters have campy dialogue. Battle tutorial. I smashed him in initiative. Moving to a point in the yellow area, use your main action to dash. Dash doubles your maximum movement for the turn, however you cannot use your action to attack or cast a spell. Remember that you can move normally and then decide whether to dash further or to use your action for something else. Understood. Interesting. Starving wolf. So let's attack the wolf. We can also get more info on it. AC of 11, HP of 4.
I am unbeatable.
Yeah, that's all I need. So we can try and shove enemies. That's also something we can do, apparently. I don't really feel the need to do that. Honestly, I can just attack this one.
Bend the knee or perish.
And turn. He misses me a lot, so it doesn't really matter. Clicking dodge uses main action provides the following benefits. Until the start of your next turn, all attackers see disadvantage. Cool. It's actually a pretty good way of teaching people D&D mechanics. Fantastic. Let's cross the bridge, shall we? To avoid an opportunity attack, you can use the disengage action. For the rest of your turn, you can move freely. Yep. So it wants me to disengage, I assume. I mean, I don't feel the need to be perfectly honest. Sure. That works. Let's just do what the tutorial tells me. It works amazingly well.
What a bunch of namby-pambies. You're lucky you weren't attacked by Sorax.
Shut your gob or I'll shut it for you.
The Badlands are thick with them, shape-shifting bastards.
Go easy on him. He's just a harmless old drunk. Probably saw lizard folk or dragonborn or something.
You think I don't know the difference? All those spines on their backs, those jaws. You've never seen anything like it. Not lizard folk, not troglodyte, not dragonborn, I'm telling you.
No one believes in Sorax anymore. Except the Church of Einar, of course. There's a Sorak under every bed if you believe them.
Easy now. Don't mock people for their faith.
Read them books. Sorax are masters of deception, infiltration. Anyone here could be a Sorak. You'd never know.
Oh, come on.
You'll see.
So anyway, Sorax might be legend, but orcs are quite real. And not just in the Badlands. I stumbled across a secret settlement right here in the Principality.
What?
I travelled here from the east and left the main highway, hoping to save time by traversing the hills. The
Interesting.
views were magnificent, but I should have kept my eye on the path, because it gave way beneath my feet, plunging me into Stygian darkness. Oh! That's going to leave a mark.
Lighting and light sources. In Solasta, you explore deep dark places without natural light sources. It makes exploration and combat harder, especially for characters without dark vision. You can equip a torch, understood. You can light flammable items like torches on holders by interacting with them while holding a torch or by casting a flaming spell on them, like the fire. Cool. Oh, I guess I need to equip a torch. Sure, I guess. Let's equip a torch. Oh, I see. Now I can leave. What? Gotta do everything it tells me. That's a good roll.
Orcs? Here? Strange. I wonder what this totem means.
If your character can cast healing spells, like a cleric for instance, press the cast spell button and select a spell from order to recover lost hit points. You can also use a potion found in nearby loot. Understood. Some loot there. Probably want all of that, really.
There they are. Discretion is clearly the better part of valor in this instance.
Gonna give me a sneak tutorial, I suppose. Cautious mode. Activating cautious mode makes you slower, but it grants two benefits. Hidden objects and traps are easier to find, and you are harder to spot by enemies. When an enemy starts to notice your presence, a gauge appears over their head, giving you time to react and return to hiding. Remain 3 cells above the enemy in this mode and you can't be detected. Good to know. Cautious. Looks like there's like a certain area around you that you can actually use. Sneaking tutorial. I love the fact that it uses each of your characters to do a sneaking tutorial. It's really cool. May as well keep sneaking here, there's no reason not to, right? I guess I move slower, right? What is this? Abyss moss. A very rare moss found in the depths beneath the Badlands. Sure.
No other means of egress is apparent. Fine. I shall wait until they go. These creatures do hunt, right?
Makes sense. Take a long rest. To recover hit points, special abilities, and spells, you must take a long rest. To do so, you need to gather your party around a safe place and have 1 ration of food per party member. Safe places are represented by a campfire. They are also shown on locations in the map. Many spellcasters know more spells than they can recall at a given time. Prepared spells represent those a character can use by spending spell slots. Check your heroes list to know spells and choose which ones you want to prepare. Spells that are not prepared cannot be cast. Many characters know more spells than they can prepare, so choose carefully for the given situation. I don't think it matters for my wizard, but... When the rest is complete, recover all hit points and half your hit dice maximum full HP. Upon rest completion, you will recover these features, spell slots. Post-rest actions, your character's actions after the rest is complete. Prepare spells. Cool. Start long rest. My spells should always be prepared, right? Oh, interesting. It seems that they all have prepared spells. Interesting. I'm okay there. I don't need to identify yet. So these guys have left, it seems. So we can get out of here, I suppose.
I
Yep.
would have slaughtered every one of those green-skinned monsters.
Orcs have a very distinctive stink.
I'm beginning to think Lord Karen might be a mythical creature.
We've all told a tale of our travels here. All but one of us.
Yes, but I have good reason for that. It's none of your bloody business.
You can't have a true friendship without trust. What are you hiding?
Fine. You want to know the truth? I stopped on the way here to visit an old friend of mine, and discovered he was up to his eyeballs in debt with a loan shark.
Oh, that's not good.
Indeed. He put up a family heirloom as collateral and wanted me to reacquire it. Because you see, I can be quite stealthy when necessary.
Admitting to a crime on the first meeting of somebody. Tutorial Stealth. Use cautious mode to move stealthily. Enemies can hear you if they cross your noise circle, and they'll spot you as soon as you leave cautious mode. Your noise circle depends on your armor type and your stealth skill. Also, it's a good idea to avoid moving into an enemy's field of view while carrying a light source. Remain in cautious mode for the whole duration of this mission. You must make a stealth check if you attempt an object interaction while within hearing range of an enemy. Such an opening, a door or a chest, or even pickpocketing, and you will remain undetected only if you succeed. Cautious mode also allows you to find and follow tracks. Cool. There's tracks here. Human tracks, probably bandits. They look quite fresh. Using the camera. Right-click and drag to rotate the camera, view, and change your perspective. You can also rotate using Q and E. Understood. Thieves' tools, I will take.
Ah, Liam, always thoughtful.
See if we can sneak up through here, I suppose. To try picking a lock, mouse over a locked door and chest and left click. If you select the whole party, the most skilled character is automatically chosen for the task. You must have thieves' tools in your inventory to try picking a lock. Being proficient with thieves' tools will help. Easy. Sneak up to the wall to get a bit of view. Bandit Quartermaster. I wonder if I need to get through that door, probably. Another guess. Another dude over there. I don't see any guards here, so I think we're good. Some angry violets. My next quest is to find the treasure room. I think I have found the treasure room. Should close that door behind me, would have been a smart option, but it's fine. They didn't seem to notice.
Stop. A trap.
To disarm a trap, you must first detect it. If you try to open a lock, pick a chest with a trap, you won't have detected. You find it in the trap and you'll trigger it. Cool. Some traps can only be disarmed by triggering them. If you fail to disarm a trap, you may trigger it or lock it, or simply need to try again. Liam's heirloom is a massive diamond. Okay. And 19 copper pieces. I'll take it. Now need to find my way out of this place. Which I guess just involves sneaking out again, right?
There you are, you filthy crook!
You? What? You're drunk. Get out of here before I kill you.
Think you scare me? Not anymore.
A grave mistake.
Well,
Liam,
fuck.
what are you doing here? I told you I'd take care of it.
Interesting. Critical characters. If you attack an enemy while undetected, you gain the advantage of surprise. That means that you have advantage on your roll to hit, and your opponent cannot react before the next turn. If you're on rogue, your attack will be a sneak attack, dealing additional damage. Well, I go first. That's something, I suppose. Sure, let's shoot him. I got a critical. I wonder if that was staged. Achievement, how do you want to do this? Nice.
Are you four here to see Lord Karen?
Who's asking?
Depends on who's asking.
Well, if you're here for Lord Karen of the Legacy Council, that would be me.
So you're real then?
So you're not a mythical creature after all.
Unlike, say, a sober adventurer?
Can you tell us more about the job?
Well, I suppose it's better if you know what you're doing. What do you want to know?
Are you our employer?
Are we going to work for you?
Not exactly, no. I'll be your contact with the Legacy Council, which you will serve as deputies. That's why we need to go there and get you sworn in.
About the Principality.
What can you tell us about this place, the Principality?
We don't exactly have the time. Anyway, the Principality of Masgarth is ruled by Princess Kaiwood Silverflower. We are a wealthy state with fertile lands and the easiest access to the Badlands through a pass called the Copperhead Road. We're in the capital, Caer Kiflin, which was once part of the ancient Manicalan Empire of the High Elves. Hence the magnificent elvish buildings up there in the High Tower. While we don't have a state religion, all of the major faiths of Solasta are represented here, though we tend to favor Einar, the god of valor and fidelity.
We hear this is a mission for the council, but what is it exactly?
Dear Moraike, you don't know? I'll try to make it simple, but you know, politics. The council includes representatives of the most powerful and influential organizations in the Eastern Kingdoms. It was created to lead a joint effort to explore the Badlands.
What organizations are there?
What are the organizations you mentioned?
The council is, how to put it, a non-governmental organization, meaning that
citizens'
state
government,
bodies
effectively.
are not represented. To avoid partisanship. Instead, there are delegates from the Guild of Antiquarians, the Tower of Knowledge, the Arcaneum, and the Circle of Denantar. And the Church of Einar guarantees fairness, led by Marshal Beric Sunblaze and Oathkeeper Lyra Keen.
What are the Eastern Kingdoms?
Which countries make up these Eastern Kingdoms?
Simple. The Principality of Masgarth, here, is in the middle. The Snow Alliance lies to the north. The
Makes
Kingdom
sense.
of Galavan to the east, and the New Empire to the south. All friendly, more or less, but the peace is fragile.
I know what the Badlands are. Let's see what he
What are the
says.
Badlands, really?
Simply put, They are a monster-ridden, chaotic wasteland that used to be the elven empire called Manicullen. It was destroyed about 1,000 years ago by the Great Cataclysm. Now, only ruins remain, full of forgotten knowledge, riches, and dangers.
We know enough.
I think we know enough now. Thank you. We should go, don't you think?
Very well. Come, gather your things. You're late for your swearing in.
Hurry up and wait. The story of my life.
Hurry up and wait. When rolling with advantage, 2 d20s are rolled and the better result is used. When rolling with disadvantage, the worst result is used. The Legacy Council. Finding a way to Caer Kiflin. The Principality's capital is a large city. Right now you need to find the Legacy Council. Once you've been there, you'll have access to the fast travel function, but for now you'll have to walk. Go north and walk up the stairs to Sunblaze Court, then take the stairs west to the Council. Cool. Simple enough. But I think that is where we're going to leave it. We've done the tutorial and we're into the game proper, which is very much like this feels so much like Baldur's Gate like 1 and 2. Just the town and the movement and stuff. It just feels like it, you know what I mean? But as I said, that's going to be it for this episode. If you like the video, please leave a like. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. And as always, thanks for watching, and I shall see you next time, where we're going to go a bit further in and continue our story. It is interesting. As I said, I love the way that the dialogue works, because it's really cheesy and campy. But that doesn't detract from it, because this is a D&D campaign. It's like people kind of awkwardly saying their lines to each other in a group. It's kind of good, and I love it. Also, the fact that my maid characters have their own distinct personalities that are pretty much exactly what I would expect them to be from how I made the characters. That's impressive. That's quite impressive. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.